Righto, everybody. Our next talk's about to begin. Come and join us in the McCain Health and Wellness Talks Center in association with ProVeg International. If you're interested in starting a small business with plant-based products, this talk is for you. Find out everything you know from 3 experts who have done it, then all the challenges, all the pitfalls. And we're about to start. This is going to be moderated by Rebecca Espen. She's one of the events assistants at ProVeg South Africa. She's going to be talking our experts through it. They include Carla Gontier from Grumpy and Runt. Carla is the co-founder and co-owner of the company. It's a little donut shop based here in the mother city, along with her business partner and head baker. The two women aim to challenge perceptions of veganism by tapping into nostalgia and a sense of magic through desserts and food. Shaun Robertson's here. He's from the Vegans Goods Market, the director, and that's a Sunday market here in the mother city, one of the biggest in the country, in fact. It's a welcoming and inclusive space where people can conveniently and easily shop for vegan, eco-friendly and cruelty-free food, beverages, home and body products. He's joining the panel as well. And so is Guy Greenblatt from Outcast Foods. Excuse me, he's the co-founder of the company. He's a true health fanatic, this man, with a love of nature and a calling to make an impact. Now, Guy has made it his mission to show people you can prepare healthy, tasty, plant-based food with relative ease. All of them have their own small businesses. You can learn exactly how they've done it and hopefully avoid some of the pitfalls. Rebecca, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Hi, welcome, Guy, Carla, Shaun. Can you just tell us a bit about you, how you and your company, and like what you do? Over to you, Shaun.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good, good. So excited to be here at the Plant Powered Show, and thank you so much, Rebecca, and to everyone else for making this available for our community. The Vegan Goods Market, I'm the director of the Vegan Goods Market. I took over from a lovely lady by the name of Sarah Lee Beckett. She was the founder of the market all the way back in 2016. It started as a small market with about 5 vendors at a school in Plumstead. And then from there we moved to the Source and also ended up doing some festivals. And now we've moved to the Range in Tokai in the southern suburbs, where we have our market every first Sunday of the month. We have between 50 and 70 vendors that are trading with us, and we also collaborate with the Thrift Fest to create a full-on sustainable shopping experience for people to come and enjoy. And our space is not only just for vegans, it's for any and everybody to come to. It's a safe space that just is so inviting for family, for friends, for your pets as well. We've got live entertainment, live music, an open bar, a kiddie section. So it's basically a nice Sunday out for you to enjoy. And we're so blessed to have Carla and Guy has also been one of our vendors at our market, and just the community that we have at our space. We've been so blessed and just grateful for everybody's support and to be grown and become the biggest vegan market in South Africa, basically. So yeah, that's our space.
Yeah, that's amazing, Shaun. If you haven't been to the Vegan Goods Market, it will be taking place next week.
Next week, Sunday,
Yep.
on every first Sunday of the month. So next week, Sunday, on the 4th of June. Hope to see you guys there. Carla will definitely be there from Grumpy and Runt, having some amazing donuts. So
Yeah, no, definitely. So it's a 20 Rand entrance fee.
yes.
But definitely do check it out and come early because Carla's stuff goes quickly.
Yeah.
So on to you, Carla. Can you just tell us about you and your business and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so as Rebecca said, we are a little vegan donut shop. We started in 2020, about 2 weeks before lockdown hit. And we just sell a variety of vegan donuts. As Rebecca said, it's more about plant-based indulgence, so we try to kind of subtly inject a plant-based lifestyle into people's lives by showing them how delicious it actually can be. So that's sort of our motto. It's not... We try not to focus too much on the healthy side. We've got a guy for that. We're a bit more about plant-based indulgence. That's who we are.
No, definitely. Thank you so much, Carla. But definitely not just indulgence. It's absolutely delicious. Like, you got to treat yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
On to you, Guy. Can you tell us a little about yourself and what your company does?
Sure. Firstly, I'm actually a fan of Grumpy and Runt. There's a time and place for everything. I'm all for health and clean living. But yeah, treats, there's a time and place for it. And yeah, Grumpy and Runt would be the place to go, as would be the vegan goods market.
Yeah,
we actually started out there. I've been running Outcast Foods for 5 years now. It started in my home kitchen, and we launched into a few small delis, Organic Zone and Olive Branch Deli, and then we started selling at the vegan goods market, which is where we really started getting traction with the community. I don't have time to do that anymore with family, etc. Currently, the business employs 3 people, so we've got a very small team who are very passionate about what they do, including myself as the 4th, and I still work a full-time job to keep the business going. It's not actually making a profit at this point. We hit some very hard times over the last few years, but I'm hoping that this year will be a real change. We're going through a rebrand, and I'm about to launch a new line, which, if you guys follow us on social media, hopefully in the next 2-3 months, we'll be able to reveal what that is.
Awesome.
No, thank you so much, Guy. Yeah, even though there's ups and downs, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel, for sure. Next question, Shaun, for you. So, sorry, guys. What was an invaluable lesson that you have learned with the vegan goods market? I think especially coming from a place how you started out small and how you developed into an amazing space that is inclusive and a safe space for everyone.
So I think at the beginning, what we've realized is that obviously the vegan community was quite small. It's obviously grown so much since then. But what we as a space has transformed into becoming is not just a space for only vegan people to come and enjoy a lovely Sunday out. We've opened our space up and shown people that you don't only have to be vegan to come and enjoy the market. It's all about creating community. And I think what's lovely about the people that comes to our market is that there's this amazing energy that everybody comes with, and it's not only coming from the vendors or coming from the people that's, you know, creating the space, but also from the visitors, and just bouncing that energy off from each other and just letting people know that, you know, you can come and enjoy your time, and also learn about amazing plant-based offerings and how you can support smaller businesses that are getting into the plant-based space, and communicate and connect with the people behind the brands, creating that community, building that community. I think that's one of the most invaluable lessons that I've learned from the vegan goods market.
Thank you so much, Shaun. And on to you, Carla. Like, what is an invaluable lesson you have learned along the way, especially as a female-run business?
Yeah, I think the sort of lessons, I mean, lots of lessons along the way. I think the biggest lesson is don't wait for things to be perfect. You know, I think if we had waited to have, you know, all the perfect experience and all the money in the world, we probably would never have started. So my biggest learning was, you know, start small, you know, gain momentum as you go, and you'll figure it out along the way. I think the thing that I've learned over the last 3 years is that you might have a vision of what you think your business is going to be in your head, but once you get going, it actually starts to evolve and change and grow, and it morphs into maybe something that you didn't really think about, you know, that it was going to be, but it becomes this thing, and then you kind of embrace it and go in that direction. So yeah, have an open mind as you go into it, and don't wait for things to be perfect, or you might never start.
No, definitely. I think it's always scary taking that leap of faith, but at the end of the day, it is definitely worth it. On to you, Guy. What is an invaluable lesson you have learned?
I think Carla's is definitely the number one. That goes without saying. So I'm going to try and talk about something else. The second one, I think, is people. If you have to have a team that you can trust, you have to have a team that's bought into what you do and that you treat well and that are in the journey with you. So at the moment, we've got the 3 people that we have been with me for, most of them for up to 4 years, some of them for only 3, but they're rock solid now. We haven't had any changes, everyone's happy, and I think, yeah, that makes all the difference. It's also important to be patient with people. So, you know, you have to invest, and we're going to continue to invest. So my vision is to see these people grow into new roles as the business expands, and that they can then teach the lessons that they've learned about the nitty-gritty, in-depth, processes that are production to new people.
If I can echo that as well, just on the team, I think that's so important. As you mentioned, we're an all-female-owned business, female-owned and female-run, and that was quite intentional. Nothing against men. It was more, about female empowerment and growing women, especially in the kitchen environment. There's a lot of men in kitchens, and we wanted to provide a safe space for women. And we've had the same employees for the last, close to 4 years now, and seeing all of them grow and be able to take on roles that historically they might not have thought that they could grow into because, they felt that, they didn't have enough experience. It has been really amazing. So yeah, I think that's such a critical one, having the right team around you.
Yeah. No, definitely, Carla. I think it's amazing. Every time I come in, there's such a warm smile on their faces
those ladies are
and
wonderful.
familiarity. I think the customers really get to know who's behind and who's making these amazing things.
Yeah.
So on to our last question, which would be, what can we expect next from the vegan goods market?
We are looking to expand into different spaces in and around Cape Town. What's amazing about the market is that it really attracts people from any and everywhere, from people from the northern suburbs, from Somerset West, people from Strand, even a lot of the international crowd that has been coming to the market. It's been so amazing to hear that, we've been hearing about the vegan market from so many people online, and seeing them come and enjoy the space, it's been so nice. So we are looking to branch out into other spaces, obviously looking for facilities and areas that have similar facilities to what we currently have at the range. We are going to be trading throughout the winter, so looking for spaces that have enough coverage, has enough parking for our attendees, for our visitors, that has facilities for the kids, so that it shows people that it's a family-friendly space. Outside of that, looking to potentially come out with some merch, things that people can purchase that they can use at the market, like shopper bags, bottles and things like that. And just there's other things that we won't mention now, but yeah, definitely looking to expand and be in other spaces of Cape Town so that we can get to our lovely supporters that come from, the northern suburbs or come from Somerset West, and have a market that's closer to you guys so that you can, also enjoy it and not have to perhaps drive too far out to enjoy it.
No, I definitely think that's a good idea. I think the northern suburbs people are missing out, and we need to fix that. But I also love the aspect of the merch. You will see me repping it when it comes. Carla, on to you. What can we expect next?
Sure, I don't know. It feels like every week is a learning moment when you own a cafe. I think for us, probably trying to figure out how to expand without losing our kind of, we've got such a cool cult following, and we don't want to franchise or do anything like that, but finding ways to expand and kind of grow the business in different ways, without getting additional outside investment and things like that. So yeah, owning a small business, I think every day is a learning moment. So I think for us, the next sort of avenue that we're going to focus on for now is wholesale. So trying to grow the wholesale aspect to our business without diluting, our product. So we don't want to be stocked everywhere. Just kind of finding the right partners around Cape Town, figuring out distribution and logistics. So whether that's getting a delivery van, I think that's our next move.
No, definitely amazing. I would get my weekly donut with that donut full with that delivery van. Big ups will make my week.
Yeah.
So on to you, Guy. What can we expect next?
We're in the middle of doing a full rebrand, and there's an important reason for this. Currently, I think the product is not understood by people who don't know the brand and what we do. If you look at it on the shelf, it might look like a flower or something like that. And even between the products, you might look on the shelf and see falafel, and you don't realize that there's a burger mix and a flapjack mix. The designs are different. So it's going to be full color photography. It's going to look really nice. And hopefully it's going to attract new people, especially in the larger retailers where, people don't know the brand and they're missing out. That's the first thing. And the second one is that we're going to launch a frozen line. And I don't know how it's going to affect our burger mix. We're going to have to wait and see how that plays off, but it's going to be burgers. The food service version is ready, and we're starting to send out samples to restaurants in the next 2 weeks. So that's very exciting for us. And I'm hoping that I can follow through with a retail version and offering, I don't know, maybe in about 4 or 5 months' time, because that will take a little bit longer. But it will be exactly what you expect from Outcast Foods: clean ingredients, no junk, no additives. It will taste amazing, but feel a little bit processed and super clean. Very excited.
That's amazing. I think that's a lot we can look forward to. Super exciting. I think one valuable lesson we can all take with us is definitely do support small businesses. I think word of mouth is amazing, and just you spreading that love is supporting them. And I think in this space as well, we are quite close-knit, but sometimes we need to broaden our horizon and expand. Like I always say, like, local is lacquer. So no, 100%. Onto our Q&A. Does anyone in the audience have any questions?
Hello guys, how are you? I haven't seen your faces in a while. How's it going?
How are you doing?
I have a question. Maybe this will, push our people to come visit your shops even more, like trying to understand what is your passion, what drove you to opening up your business, and why, why you started it at first.
Yeah, I guess I'll take this one. What drove it? I think my business partners, Yoko is very passionate about veganism. She's such a vegan activist and she's actually got a fine art degree, and she's always had a passion for cooking, and then she started working as a professional chef, but obviously with a strong plant-based focus. So for us, it was, how do we get veganism out there? How do we get plant-based eating out there in a way that didn't feel like it was attacking people's values? So and I think with food it can get quite personal. People don't want to feel like you're judging their meat eating or whatever it is. So for us, for me anyway, it was very much, how do we get people to enjoy a plant-based lifestyle, and how do we promote vegan activism in a way that's kind of loving? And the best way we could think about doing that was through indulgence and through, giving them something that they could rally around that didn't feel like we were attacking their lifestyle. If you eat something sweet, it doesn't have to be meat or non-meat. It's just indulgence. It's nostalgic. It feels delicious and like kind of magical. So I think it was that notion of bringing those two things together, like magical food with a way of putting the vegan lifestyle in people's hands without them kind of realizing it. So I think that's sort of what drove us, really. Yeah.
No, definitely. Anything else to add, Guy or Shaun?
For me, it was about, I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, and I tried to launch at least 2 businesses before this. One of them came close to launch and then fell through. And this one actually started, it's a strange story, so I'm just going to give you a quick idea. It was to help people create, exactly like my statement, healthy plant-based meals with ease. And it came about by people at my work constantly asking me, what are you eating for lunch? What is this? Can you give us the recipe? So I gave them recipes, and they came back and said, oh, it's too difficult, we don't have time. Can you make it for us? And at this point, I was working a full-time job plus trying to start another business. I said, no, I do the meal prep for myself so that I can eat well with ease. And that's what started it. I ended up during a holiday helping my wife with the project, and suddenly thought, what if I can make a falafel mix that tastes as good as my fresh one without all the junk that's in the general ones that are in the shops? And that is how it started. So it was solving a problem that people needed, but with a passion kind of combined.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Shaun, anything else to add?
When I started going to the markets back in 2016, 2017, it was obviously quite small, and I personally never really saw a lot of representation, especially within the plant space and in the vegan space. And I think my passion for veganism, I kind of combine that with wanting to see more diversity in the space, and the people coming to visit the market, in the businesses coming to trade at the market. And I think I've definitely seen that change happening, where I'm seeing so many new faces coming to the space, and that for me has been one of the biggest. I think I'm just so grateful to see how the space and how the audience has changed, and people, the involvement of people within the plant-based space, and how that is kind of diversified. And I think that for me is always the passion, is seeing so many new faces and non-vegans coming to the market and trying something new, instead of it just being, for example, just being promoted to a vegan specific community. Because without other people who are non-vegan come and check out the space, how are we wanting that message to be pushed out? How are we wanting to change the narrative? How are we wanting veganism to grow? And by building that community and showing that any and everybody is able to be part of the space, that's how we can, push out the message. And that's something that's been pushing me, and that's my passion, basically.
No, that's amazing. Before I close, I just want to thank you all for coming and talking. Shaun has a stand, the Vegan Goods Market has a stand here, so definitely please do visit. Is there another question?
I was going to say, every week you guys come with like the most phenomenal flavor drops, and week after week it's like, wow. So we're wondering where you get your inspiration from each week, and do you guys plan like really far in advance? Like, what's the whole situation there?
I mean, I wish we could plan far in advance. So how it started was because we started just before lockdown. We actually, and this is why I said, like, your business will, even if you think it's going to go one way, it's going to go a completely different direction. So the 6 different flavors every week actually started because of lockdown. And because we couldn't make 200 donuts a day, we had to make 50. We thought, okay, well, how do we pare that back and do like 6 different flavors every week, so that we are like bringing out new flavors and doesn't get boring. So that's how that kind of evolved. And then how we come up with the 5 or 6 flavors, whatever it is we literally have lists of thousands of flavors like written out, and then we try to categorize it. So they'll usually always be like a chocolatey one, a nutty one, a fruity one, and then we try to tap into our background. So Yoka comes from an Afrikaans household, so she tries to tap into like nostalgic things that her grandmother made when she was young, even if it's just puddings or desserts or cookies or cakes. So it's kind of a combination of like classic desserts and classic puddings, and just then mashing things together. So if it's like, okay, how do we bring caramel and tiramisu together? How do we bring coffee into this flavor? So maybe it's like a cake that goes well with a coffee glaze. So that's how it kind of started. Lots of brainstorming around like, do you like this, or what about this? So yeah, we do have a long list of flavors, but as to whether it happens weeks in advance, sometimes it's the day before. We're like, shit, we're missing a flavor. Quickly come up with it. But yeah, and Yoka's, obviously she's the baker, so in the beginning it was a lot of brainstorming between the two of us. Now she mostly does it by herself with the 2 bakers in the kitchen. So they kind of like throw around ideas, and yeah, so tapping into a number of different spaces. She's on Pinterest all the time trying to find ideas, inspiration. Yeah, it's really wherever you can get your inspiration from. That's how we kind of come up with it.
No, definitely. I think taste.
I think that gentleman over there has a question.
One last question.
Oh, you're right, my love.
No, I'm okay. So sorry.
Sorry, Carla, I just wanted to find out, have you ever thought of making healthy donuts? And what is it about yours that are vegan?
So I'll answer it in 2 parts. So the healthy one, we've done baked gluten-free ones in the past, but I think for us, there are so many healthy vegan options out there. And a lot of people own that space. There are gluten-free bakeries. There are like, online bakeries and people who are home industries, bakers, and a lot of the restaurants around town have quite healthy like bakery and cake offerings. So we wanted to sort of approach it from a different angle. That was like, we want vegans. Not every vegan is super healthy. And that was also one of the things we wanted to kind of challenge as well. Veganism doesn't necessarily mean you have to be gluten-free, you have to be sugar-free. We wanted a space for people to be able to come and indulge, not every day, some people do. There was a time when I was eating a donut every day, which probably wasn't super healthy. But we want, vegans and plant-based and anyone to be able to come and like just have something a little bit indulgent. And so, I think sometimes we do like a gluten-free brownie or something like that. But for us it was, that space is already taken. How do we kind of bring something new to the table? And then what makes our vegan donuts vegan? We make our own plant-based butter. So rather than regular butter, we make our own plant-based butter. We use oat milk instead of regular milk. Instead of eggs, we use flaxseed kind of mix. So that's what makes them vegan.
Definitely. I think one of the things when I always show people your Instagram, I think people from the outside of the community, their jaws drop to think, because they have this perception of plant-based and they just think, oh, it's going to be bland, it's raw. And it's just to see like how creative it can be and how the presentation is always amazing. They're always in shock and I'm like, you have to try it.
Yeah.
One last question.
If you are a producer, we have a small holding and we're starting to produce our own food, etc. How could we tap into businesses like yours with produce? Is there an opportunity to do this?
I think Shaun.
So, specifically with our vegan market, we're always looking for new small businesses to be part of our space. If you go on our website, www.vegangoodsmarket.com, you'll see there is a drop-down option of how to become a vendor, and then there's an application form. For a lot of the businesses that want to be part of the market, it's predominantly food and beverage. You need to have a certificate of a COA, basically, that you get from the city. And that allows you to trade at various markets in and around Cape Town.
If you have a stall and you already have a product, is there a way for people such as ourselves to be able to to connect with people who have already got products and they might be looking for chilies, for example, or
You mean
and
like
I
as a
just also
supplier?
want to mention
So
for
like
a
a
venue, have you
supplier.
thought about Elgin Market for you?
So, if I understand correctly, are you looking for other businesses for your product to be stocked in? Okay, so there are a number of small kind of businesses like the Vegan Life, for example, that has a number of brands that they take on that are all kind of part of a vegan, like a vegan range, and they've just collaborated now, partnered with Shop Zero to bring on their zero waste offerings, both pantry and home and body. So there's a number of small businesses that take on smaller businesses. If it's not like a market where you can connect with the customers, it can be an actual physical store or an online store. There's also Faithful to Nature that takes on small businesses, and a lot of other spaces that bring smaller businesses together. So yeah.
Yeah, and if I can just add to that, as a small business owner, it is actually a lot easier to go through something like the Vegan Life or one of these distributors, purely from a banking perspective and a supplier payments perspective. You want to just go to one distributor rather than 50 different suppliers. So it does make it easier if you go to a distributor and you sell to them, and then they can resell to us.
No, definitely. Just before I close, I just want to.
Market. Oh.
I think she mentioned the Algan market for the vegan goods market to potentially in the future come to Krabo.
For
But
sure.
that
Thank
is an
you.
amazing suggestion. Just before I go, Shaun has a stand here, so definitely if you have more questions for him, do come up to his stand. Carla and Guy will be roaming around here, so you can definitely get them one-on-one if you have more questions for them. Thank you guys for sharing your stories and sharing your growth with us. It's amazing to see how far you've come, and I know you guys will be going even further in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.